Welcome, dear friends. What a blessing to be with you today. Here we are with another study of one of the articles from the newest issue of the Spiritist magazine. It's always an honor to be here with you. I'm so thankful that you have joined us. And today we have an article by the spiritual Luiz through the mediumship of Waldo Vieira. And before we continue, it's been a while since we've done this. Wanted to share with folks as I have it on the screen. You can visit the website, thespiritistmagazine.org. It's here on the bottom of your screen, spiritistmagazine.org. It's unlikely that I will. Let me see if I can do this. All right. So what you're seeing right now, if you're watching this live, is that if you visit spiritistmagazine.org, you'll be able to download the app for your phone. You happen to be seeing my own cell phone linked here in the computer for you. And once you have, you can also, of course, go to your app store, either for Apple or Androids or whatever devices you have, because it works on tablets as well. You can download the app for the Spiritist magazine. Once you do that, you'll be able to browse all of the issues of the Spiritist magazine and very easily read from your phone. Let's say, for example, I have downloaded the newest issue, which is 65. Well, let's say I want to download last issue, then I can just click free. It's free. You'll be downloading. Then once it has enough downloads, you'll be able to read the many issues. You can browse the different pages. You can talk about the story of a servant by Allan Kardec, and you can easily read the issues. I'm not sure if it's gonna work, but you can also put it in landscape. It looks a little bigger for you to read. If you're watching, let's say if you're watching, if you're listening to this, or if you're waiting at a grocery store, or if you're waiting at the coffee place, you can read the many issues of the magazine, and you can easily browse the different articles from the issue. Well, today we'll be talking about issue 65, which I have already downloaded, which is this one, the most beautiful. Oops. A little glitch on my phone. Let's see if I can do this. This is live, so we'll keep going. It adjusts, right, to what you have, and you can see the different issues. It's like you're watching me peruse the physical copy of the magazine, which you can also obtain by visiting spiritistmagazine.org. And today's chapter, or today's article, is regarding Kardec's Codification. So that's the one we'll be talking about. So if you have your phone, you could download this and follow and read as we do. It's very easy. See, high resolution. Notice the quality of the graphics, and all for you, free of charge. No excuses. We have many resources to help us through our daily lives on this earth. This is one that we're going to be reading later. We talked about this one last time, so on and so forth. What a beautiful thing, friends. So I'm going to close this one up, and we're going to stop sharing this screen, but then we're going to be sharing a different screen, which is the screen of the PDF version of the magazine. Let's say, for example, you decide that you want to download the PDF version of the magazine, not to your phone, but to your computer. Maybe you're going to use it for teaching at your Spiritist Center. Then this is what you'd be looking at. You'll be able to see the same thing, the different thumbnails on one side. You can quickly browse through them, and you get to this one, which is from the Spiritist Conduct book, and it's by the Spirit under Luiz, psychographed by Waldo Vieira. So this one is Spiritist Conduct regarding Kardec's codification. Dear friends, this month of April, we have so many good things to celebrate, right? We have May 31st, Kardec discarnation, April 2nd, is Chico Xavier's birth. April 1st is the founding of the first Spiritist Center by Allan Kardec, the Spirit Society of Paris. Yesterday, Monday, April 15th, we celebrate 160 years of the Gospel according to Spiritism book. And April 18th, we'll celebrate the publication of the Spirit's book. So let's look at what the Spirit under Luiz is telling us in regards to how should we treat the Spiritist codification. So let's see what André Luiz has in mind for us today. He says, constantly recall the irreplaceable and timely teachings that illuminate the pages of Kardec's codification, from which we extract a few brief excerpts. So now, friends, we are going to be reading exactly from some of the books. The first excerpt is from the Gospel according to Spiritism. Just as Christ said, I'm not come to destroy the law, but to fulfill it. So Spiritism says we have not come to destroy the Christian law, but to carry it out. It teaches nothing contrary to what was taught by Christ. Rather, it develops it, explains it in a manner that can be understood by all, and completes that which had previously been known only in allegorical form. So when we grow up reading the Bible, for example, sometimes we don't understand what was said because the Old and the New Testament, as we can call them, they were written at a specific time for a specific set of folks. There was a historical, cultural aspect to it, and there was a lot of allegorical forms, a lot of references that you and I today wouldn't understand without the beautiful translation and explanation. See, it develops and explains it so we can understand it. What a blessing, dear friends. So today we're so thankful. Excuse me, all this pollen. We're so thankful for 160 years of the Gospel according to Spiritism. Again, from the Gospel according to Spiritism, Spiritists love one another. That is the first precept. Educate yourselves as the second. Within Christianity, you'll find all the truths. The errors in which man or humankind has become rooted are all of human origin. So the things we see that we are astonished by, surprised by, scared of, all the ills of society, all the errors are on our own. God has not created evil. Evil is just us not fulfilling God's law in our daily lives. So we have to love one another because that's what understanding and tolerance and fully living the law of society is. What is next? He says the language of spirits of superior elevation is constantly dignified, noble, characterized by the highest morality, free from every trace of earthly passion. Their counsels breathe the purest wisdom and always have our improvement and the good of mankind as their aim. Now, if the language of superior spirits is like this, how is our language? And what do I mean by this? Are we fully observing how we get to these teachings that we see here? Which words are we using? How are we using them? And what kind of things are we consuming? What kind of language and content? Is it of dignified, noble quality, of the highest morality, or are we still consuming things that are with traces of the earthly passions, or things that keep us closer to serving only our physical instincts? That includes the movies we watch, the books we read, the internet content we consume, the lyrics of certain music. You can tell the difference between music that is elevated and music that is not elevated. And are we judging? Absolutely not. I'm not here, nor are the spirits to judge, because noble superior spirits do not judge. We are warning ourselves, we're making ourselves aware that when we choose A versus B, we are selecting a certain variety of spirits that are around us that resonate in the same vibrational level. See the book For and Life by Emmanuel. So if we know of these, we make every effort to be noble, dignified, to have a language that is characterized by the highest morality, free of the earthly passions, and with the good of all in mind. So the selfishness is not there when you're superior spirit. You're working for God, to the good of all. There's a lot of road we have to still cross and walk through, and therefore we want to make ourselves aware today by thinking about all of the teachings as this compilation of teachings that Andrea Luiz brings to us right now. As we continue in the Spirit's book, although man does not know exactly what maybe have been his or her acts in their former existences, they always know the kinds of faults which he has been guilt, which has been ruling his or her characteristics, his ruling characteristic. He has only to study him or herself, and he or she will know what has been done, not by what he is, but by his tendencies, his or her tendencies. Some people ask, but you don't remember, you don't know how I'm going to make amends when I don't remember. There it is. What is our ruling characteristic? What is our central desire, as Andrea Luiz says? What kind of things I'm constantly thinking of? How do I act? What is my default? Am I kind? Am I honest? Even if nobody's looking, do I do what's right even when it's hard? He says we have to study ourselves. And how do we do this? We follow the guidelines of question 919 of the Spirit's book by St. Augustine. Every day we make note of the things we've done, we've seen, could have done better. Did I hurt anybody? So this constant self-awareness, self-questioning that allow us to do better each and every day. Remember, you have today, you have right now. We're not guaranteed tomorrow. We're not guaranteed a future. So today is the time to pay attention, to be more mindful, to work so that we can improve our lives and be of service to all. And Andrea Luiz brings to us one more part of the Spirit's book. The law of God is the same for all, but evil resides especially in the desire for its commission. Good is always good, evil is always evil, whatever man's position may be. The difference is in the degree of his or her responsibility. So, if today we know what we know, and we decide not to follow the divine laws, it's what the spirits say in the third part of the Spirit's book. In the first chapter, it talks about comparing our actions to the divine laws. Does it fulfill the divine law or does not fulfill? If it fulfills the divine laws, it's good, and if it doesn't, it's evil. There's no middle. If I'm not doing the good, I'm incurring the evil. And the law is all. Our law of God is for all. It's the same for everyone. Therefore, we need to come to acceptance. This is where I am today. These are the things I came here to do within my reincarnatory plan. Today, I choose to do good. I choose to see the good, to visualize the good with all the resources at hand, as Emmanuel says. Because if I don't choose to do the good, then I am now incurring evil. And because the law of God is the same for all, it will come a time where we will have to answer to those actions. The degree of responsibility, the intent, what did we want with it? So perhaps 2 decades ago, a decade ago, we didn't know of these. So the errors we made in that past, in that time, have less of a relative, right, folks? Someone who commits grave crimes against others and themselves, and the law of God have different consequences. But the things I did back then when I was a teenager that I didn't know better, I did not know of Spiritism. No, and I'm talking about a hypothetical person who didn't have the moral compass at home. Those actions have a different weight for that same person at mid 40s where they know of Spiritism. So if we now, the 40-year-old version of this hypothetical person, choose to do the same things, as more responsibility, the degree of responsibility is different, because the more we know, the more we will be asked. It will be asked of us. The true Spiritists can be recognized by their moral transformation and by the efforts they employ in order to dominate their bad instincts. So, the true Spiritist may or may not be the person who goes to Spiritist Center every week, who does everything. But what are the efforts that we're making in our lives? Because we want to be the true Spiritist, right? What are the efforts we're making so that we can dominate our bad instincts? Again, we go back to the previous column, because if I don't know what my instincts are, good, bad, neutral, then how am I going to know how to do better? So starts with self-reflection, self-understanding, examination, and then the realization that we have to change, and this constant effort to dominate our bad instincts. And we need to be proud of ourselves if people come to us and say, I don't recognize you at all. You were such a different person when you were in high school. Thank God. Because I do not want to have my same self with my same knowledge and understanding as in my 40s or 30s than I was in my teenage years. So we have to change the laws of progress, the laws of getting better each and every day. And not only physically change, because the nature of our physical body changes. We age. If you get to be old, we bless God, because old age comes with wisdom, comes with different challenges than when you're young. In a youth obsessed culture, it's hard because we don't privilege that. But a lot of people discarnate way before they can get to that wisdom, because that's their plan. That's God's plan for them. So if we are today better than we were before, we bless God for the opportunity of growth and this moral transformation, that what I see today as possible and acceptable is very different from what my previous younger self used to do. And last but not least, he says, as it is not possible to love God without practicing charity towards one neighbor, all of mankind's obligations are resumed in the maxim. Without charity, there is no foundation. So let's go to the law of love, justice, and charity in the Spirit's book, and we will learn the law. Love is the universal law that joins all of the beings in the universe. Everything in the universe is ruled by love that emanates from God and join us. And we have to practice charity by being kind, by being compassionate, by being understanding, by being tolerant towards ourselves and others. Not only the physical charity that we think of, that is much necessary in the world of trials and expiation, we must do. but also that moral compass that we can help others, we can reach out when it's different, we can pray for folks, we can do visualizations, we can be part of our Spiritist Center and pray together, we can counsel spirits. So many ways to practice charity, and we want to be having this obligation of being charitable towards everyone so that we can evolve and progress and become a pure spirit such as God dictates in the law of progress. Quote is a quote from the Bible. Every chapter of the book Spiritist Conduct has a quote from the Bible at the end. It says, meditate upon these things, give thyself wholly to them, that thy profiting may appear to all. Paul in the first letter to Timothy, chapter 4, verse 15. And here's the source, the book Spiritist Conduct by Luiz through Waldo Vieira, chapter 45. And then the full reference page for those who want to go to those chapters. Take the time to revisit the Spirit's book. Take the time to revisit the Gospel according to Spiritism and celebrate the blessings that we have in this life. There are, for us, a vessel of our salvation, the vessel of our life, the vessels of being a conduit to God's goodness in everyone's life. And if you allow me, and if you join me, I will be saying a prayer to celebrate our encounter today. Hopefully this will work. And you can hear some of the music that is playing. Let me see. So feel free, if you're not driving, operating machinery, looking after other people, to find a comfortable position. Close your eyes if that's safe to do so. As we repeat the words of this prayer together, we think of the many loving spirits that are joining us today. We thank God for the opportunity of being here, for the blessings of the Spiritist magazine started by Allan Kardec, for the blessings of the Gospel according to Spiritism in its 160-year anniversary. Thankful for the work Allan Kardec, Amélie Boudet, all of the collaborators of Allan Kardec's time, and the many others who came before us. As we celebrate the first Spiritist Center in the world, founded by Kardec, the publication of the Spirit's book, and all of the other works that we have today, that we are blessed to have in this life, to study, to learn, and to apply. We thank the spirits who guide the publication of the Spiritist magazine, all of its collaborators, those who come together so we can meet here, to have the contents to meet every Tuesday. Dear God, may you bless all of those who are dedicating their lives to teaching, spreading Spiritism, and most importantly, applying these teachings to our lives so we can be an example to others. During this time, we pray for those on the earth who may be suffering, either in the physical or spiritual realm. We pray for those who have many illnesses, those who are in hospitals, nursing homes, orphanages, those who are unhoused, those who are in areas of war, those who are in areas of abundance. We pray for all of the beings of the earth so that we can, united with you, God, progress and evolve as humanity. We pray for showers of healing light in each and everyone's homes, in our Spiritist centers, and all around our neighborhoods, allowing us to feel consoled, to feel happy, and to feel thankful for this day today. May we feel inspired by our mentors in the times of difficulties, in the times of joy, so that we can remember what we learned And we can honor the legacy of Allan Kardec by applying these teachings in our lives. Dear God, we are so thankful for this reincarnation and for all of the resources that we have. And we pray for your permission and your protection as we end our studies today. And so be it. Dear friends, what a blessing to be with you today. I hope that you have enjoyed one more edition of the Spiritist Magazine program. I'm Shane Martin. I am in Richmond, Virginia, at the Spirit Society of Richmond. Please feel free to visit spiritistmagazine.org. Write to the editor. Donate your time. Donate your resources. spiritistmagazine@gmail.com. God willing, I'll be back with you next week with another installment of our program. May you stay well, may you stay safe, and I hope to see you soon. Bye-bye.